What is up, guys? It's your boy Big Ant from Big Ant Media. We are here with the Booze. How y'all doing today? I'm not the Booze. Under ego. I'm tripping. I'm barely awake.
We can be the Booze. I gotta be the Booze.
I bet you guys have known them long enough. So tell me a little bit about your guys' self. Like, how did you guys meet each other?
Pretty much started with me and Anthony. Me and him met each other at college jazz band.
Okay.
Started jamming from there. Started jamming in his garage and kind of built it up. Met Jake.
Yeah, we met at a birthday party.
Yeah, I randomly went to a birthday party. Met Jake. And
Oh, yeah?
He had an acoustic guitar there for some reason. Started playing. Like, yeah.
Shit, why not?
Yeah. Come at this time at this location, and he came and was part of the band. And then AJ, you knew?
Well, AJ and I met through a mutual friend. So a friend of mine said, "Hey, you guys look for a bass player. This guy would be a good option to try out." So he came and worked out perfectly. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool how we all just met, because it's really interesting how he came about, because you're originally from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
so he's
shit.
moving around.
Yeah.
I just ended up in California.
Yeah, it's just cool how it all ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, how long have you guys been doing music for? Like,
Little
together?
So a little over a year now.
Okay.
We started.
October.
Yeah,
As-
it was all
as
four
was-
of us.
was it October?
Yeah, it was October.
Because I came like
I don't remember.
October 2018.
Yeah, so a little over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, how did you guys come up with the name Under Ego?
So it's really not like. I wish it was like a cooler story. I keep saying I'm gonna make up a story so that way it's I just haven't done it. So basically, what it was is like we were going through a few names. I think this was before either maybe you were around, but I don't even know if you were around. But I was just like driving home from practice and on the freeway, and just the name popped into my head. There was nothing that like it was inspired from. There was nothing that really came about. So just kind of my idea as we met more so blended as a band, and my kind like I've started to think about the name. I think to me it's become something that means like a state of absolute balance, of absolute honesty.
Okay, that sounds badass.
Yeah.
You made it sound like it didn't sound badass, and then it had a meaning behind it.
Well, there's no. That's the thing, though, man. There's like no cool story of like everyone's got like, oh man, you know, something like this, something like that, of how they came up with their band name. But no, I was just driving.
Usually, what I'm kind of used to hearing is, you know, we thought about a couple different names, and then it just happened. It was
yeah. So we had a couple different name options. Like Ejecta was a name option. Mothball Fleet was a name option.
that one.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. There's a few different name options, but Under Ego is definitely better.
There ain't nothing wrong with a weird band name. I mean, we got some out there.
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I've heard some bands, and I'm like, what are you guys? They tell me, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's weird. I like it though. So I seen on your guys' Instagram, you guys just did a new video. How did that go?
Oh yeah, so the project,
Yeah.
dude, that is cool. That was so cool to be a part of that. That was right out of here in Sacramento.
Okay.
Those guys, Project 99S, Project
S99S.
yeah, super cool guys. Adam, the guy who runs it, awesome, easy to work with guy. So basically, what we did is we went in, performed 3 songs, and then an interview right afterwards. That's actually on YouTube right now.
All right.
It was just released actually today.
Today.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 interviews back to back. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you get that exposure.
Right. That was really cool to be a part of.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So where do you guys usually play at? Cause like, what are some of your guys' favorite venues you guys have played at?
We play all over the place, man. At least we try to. DNA Lounge is always a cool one. We've played the main stage there twice. We were supposed to be playing the upstairs stage on the 22nd, but that was postponed because of just everything that's going on.
Due to COVID.
Now. Yeah.
Damn COVID, you guys are bringing the music industry down.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of those like venues and companies out there in San Francisco are having a really, really hard time right now staying afloat. My dad was actually telling me that by the end of this, there's a chance that 40% of all of those venues and stuff like that. Yeah, just it's really, really crazy time. But we played all over. plenty of times here in Sacramento, a few times in Fairfield, but there's not very many venues out in our hometown.
Yeah.
So the Crafting Cork, that place is pretty cool.
Crafting Cork, it's a little bar in Sassoon that was actually our last show with the Booze and the Cutthroats and All Too Easy.
Yeah.
All like local people to Fairfield. Such cool, like
Oh yeah.
a lot of cool people showed up. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully that place can keep going with those kind of shows.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like when I'm out scouting bands, like looking to interview, I listen to them. I'm like, wow, you guys sound fucking amazing. Like when I heard you guys, I was like, I love this. Like me, I love all types of music, but like certain things stand out. Like me, when it comes to rock music, one thing I love most is the guitar solos. The solos are the best part because there's no lyrics. It's just the music, and you can vibe to it. And that's what I love about rock music is just the solos, the breakdowns, stuff like that, because that's what get your blood pumping.
It's funny because I think that you start to see a lot less guitar solos now.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what reason that is. You got a lot of shorter songs, especially like with the musicians that we're kind of surrounded with.
Yeah.
Just a lot of shorter songs and very few guitar solos. But we try to implement guitar solos as much as we can so that this guy can show off the
Absolutely.
skills.
The skills.
What little we have.
I love that. So when you guys are writing music, where do you get some of your influences from?
There's a lot, man.
Yeah.
I think some of the more obvious ones are like Black Sabbath, White Zombie, Acid Bath.
Yeah.
Tool is another big one for
Tool's
us.
a good
I
one.
think Pantera also.
Pantera is probably another one. Yeah. There's a lot. And, we got asked this. We're probably gonna ask this on every interview. But it's just a really hard question to answer.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah, and we all have our own individual influence as well.
Yeah, on how you guys play,
Right.
stuff like that. So
Things we even listen to personally.
yeah, who your guys' influences for your playing style, like the reason you play the way you do?
Oh, that's a hard question. Man.
Like as individuals.
Individuals.
Okay.
Mine
He started it.
Mine usually like Metallica, Pantera. I listen to the drums on that, and it makes me feel a certain way, and I kind of want to do the same for other people.
Yeah.
That are playing, right? So that's, I guess, my mentality. Those kind of heavier bands when we're playing as Under Ego. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Paul Gray, rest in peace, the original bassist of Slipknot.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot, man. As a front man,
Give me your top two.
Iggy Pop is my number one of all time.
All right.
That's my number one all time front man. Just his presence
Mhm.
is amazing. And then from there, there's Henry Rollins, Chuck Schuldiner, Phil Anselmo. His stage presence. Everything else I can kind of give or take. But
Yeah.
just his stage presence and his voice.
Yeah.
Was really big for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard question.
That's all the questions. I don't know. That's a hard question.
Throw one out there. Throw one out there.
I really like one of my favorite guitar players is Jack White. I don't know how much of an influence that goes into Under Ego, but I think he's cool. Who else? It's hard.
I mean, it's somebody who influences you.
Influence? I guess Jack White's a big influence.
Hello Kitty is a big influence. Just as a person.
As a person, yeah.
Absolutely.
He's a
A lot of
great inspiration.
Hello, Mike Red.
Real people person.
Just punk rock music in general.
Yeah, I
Pretty
feel
sick.
it. I feel it. Yeah, and that's one thing I do look at when I go to see bands is their stage presence, how they work together, if they have fun while they're on stage or they just stand there like animatronics.
Yeah.
They stand there, do their song, they don't get involved in the crowd, they don't try getting everybody riled up.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I love.
Yeah.
I love where they're like, let's get this shit going.
Yeah.
Start doing pits. I'm like, oh yeah, it's about to get real.
I think we do a good job moving. We just look like 4 dead trees that move a lot. So, yeah.
Just swaying in the wind.
All our dead hair. No, I think people really enjoy our live stage presence.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, out of local bands you guys have played with, who've been some of your guys' favorites that you've played with, and band that you still want to play with that you haven't had the chance to?
I love the Booze.
Yeah, the booze.
Absolutely.
Who, as according to the beginning of this interview, we are the Booze.
love them
I
so
mean,
much,
we
we
wish,
are
man.
them.
We wish.
We play their songs at practice. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
not
cool.
hard.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then as far as like Fairfield locals, I mean, All Too Easy they're a newer hardcore band,
Mhm.
cool guys. The
Two
Cutthroats.
shows.
Well,
Yeah. The Cutthroats are cool to watch live. There's a band called Safe Haven, which they're formerly known as Without Hope.
Mm.
They're remarketing themselves.
Oh,
as
okay,
Safe
okay.
Haven. Bunch of cool dudes, man. Cool music.
All right.
Another band, Now the Casket. They're like a metal.
Oh, I know them, dude. I know those guys.
Yeah, I was actually in that band.
Were you?
Yeah, I was a guitar player in that band.
Yeah, I knew. I met Darius and Shane a while back.
Yeah.
Bunch of cool dudes.
Yeah.
Darius, we one of our homegirls was throwing a birthday bash downtown and in Old Sac, and we were there. And me and Darius were doing a beach ball sumo, so we're running at each other with the beach balls. I kept knocking everybody down.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all ain't gonna take me down. I'm too big.
Yeah. There's some fun dude, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're a
But,
bunch
I
of
mean,
cool
we
dudes.
also like a lot of people out of Stockton, out of Sacramento. Rise and Strike, man. So
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of cool dudes.
Yeah.
Sissy Fit, awesome band.
All right, all
There's a
right.
lot. There's a
Bay
lot.
Area,
Hell yeah.
Gulch, Drain, all those guys. I want to play a show with them.
Okay,
We haven't played with them yet.
Yeah.
I want to play with No Right.
No, right? That'd be
I
cool.
really want to play with No Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next for Under Ego? What do you guys have coming up here in the next couple months? Are you
Right,
guys working
so-
on anything?
Yeah. We're hoping that our shows get all figured out because we had a lot of shows planned that were postponed or even canceled.
Yeah, because I remember you guys said you guys want to be available to like April
Yeah,
4th.
man.
We were
Yeah.
all looking
I mean,
for-
that's hopefully right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully things get working again. But we're supposed to be going into the studio April 9th.
Okay.
To go. Actually, we're recording a split with the Booze.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that should be out in the summertime.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just looking to get a lot of shows going here pretty soon.
Absolutely. What's a couple of my favorite venues out here is Holy Diver. It's always a good one. Always a good time out there.
We're gonna work towards getting to that too. We've been in contact with Big Pressure Presents
Okay.
about playing out here. So we should
I know all those guys as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
I've been.
We should be getting into that here pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Boardwalk's another good one.
Yeah.
Colony, Cafe Colonial, those are some good
Yeah,
ones.
pretty big show,
We got to
man.
play
That
that.
was
We
pretty
played,
sick.
yeah.
We played, a benefit show.
Yeah.
At the Colony. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I remember last year some they were supposed to be shutting down and then they just stayed open. I'm like, they got what they needed.
Remodeled though.
Oh, have they? I haven't been down there in a good minute.
Yeah, it's like a nice restaurant almost in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, all right.
I saw your last Titan sticker on
Oh yeah, those are my boys. They actually got me back into local music. I was with Criminal Rock, like I brought up earlier. They were the people who first got me into local music. Like I'd never been to a local show, and they invited me over to their house while they jammed, and I went over there, and then they started taking me to shows, Stagehand, Road Crew, and then I started meeting a lot of bands, and then they moved, and I didn't have a reason to go out to shows because I didn't really know any bands like that anymore. I'm like, what to do? And then I met the Titans last year on my birthday, actually. I went to their first show at Boardwalk for their tour and met those guys. Great group of dudes. They took me on their second tour, which was fun. It's a fun experience. And you know, we've been cool ever since.
Yeah.
They're some of my close friends. So, and it's really cool to be like, yeah, I know these guys.
Yeah.
They're on Pandora. No, they're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Be like, but stories like that, like, it's fun to hear and listen to, and you know, to hear band stories and how they came about and how they met is just amazing. Especially with the way they work together and they sound amazing together. Because that's how music works. If you guys don't get along, it's not gonna work that well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple bands I've heard of that like perform half drunk through most of their sets, and I'm like, y'all can't be doing that. If y'all played first, that's fine. But if you guys are towards the end of the night, you should sober up a little bit so you can at least make it through your set.
Yeah.
But
I think like when it comes to that kind of stuff, you experience the show a little bit differently too.
yeah, because you're in a different state of mind.
Yeah. For me, like, I mean, I don't drink or use any sort of judgment like that. I'm the clean boy in the band. No, for me, I enjoy the nerves. I think a lot of it has to do with like deadening nerves.
Yeah.
Just because no matter where you're playing in front of 2 people or 200 people, or whatever,
You're always gonna have
you're
that.
still gonna get nerves.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I like the nerves because it just makes me play better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, if I don't mess up, it's bad. Don't do it.
Yes. A lot of bands that I know have done because I've talked to them, and things I usually suggest to other bands as well is if you guys aren't sure how you guys really sound, have somebody record it, and then after the show, watch it and basically study it like you're studying a game.
Yeah.
Like you play football, you're studying your plays,
Yeah.
perfecting everything. And
I hate watching us play. like for the project thing that we were talking about before,
Uh-huh.
I didn't touch it at all. I didn't want to see us play live.
You're like, "No, I'm
I
good."
Was like, you guys do it. If you guys think it sounds good, then go for it. That's it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
So, where can people find your guys' music at? As like
We're everywhere, man.
everywhere.
Spotify, iTunes. The hell else are we on?
Bandcamp, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bandcamp.
Are we?
Yeah.
If not, then
I don't even know.
by
Jake
the end
was
of the
fucked
day.
up.
He's like, if not, by the end of today, we will.
We're also on YouTube. We're always on like Instagram. This fool's always on Twitter. So we got Twitter. Yeah. So I mean, we're everywhere. So you can just check out all of our stuff. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, and I'll drop their links and everything in the description so you guys can follow, subscribe, and check them out because they're a dope band. Like, I'd love to see you guys live.
He's lying. He's lying.
You gotta like it.
But yeah, cause that's what I do. Like when I'm looking at bands, cause this is what I learned through Criminal Rock. Every band, like anytime they had a show, they'd look up the other bands they're playing with to see what they sound like to make their set list.
Yeah.
So like if they're playing with a heavier band, they play heavier songs. Slower band, they play a little slower songs. And that's something I like, play with the common theme.
Yeah. Well, I think like with us, we're able to blend. We're very fortunate in the way that our sound is that we're able to blend a lot with different people. So we can play like those really hardcore kind of shows.
Mm-hmm.
We're also able to play with like some of the softer stuff as well.
Yeah.
That one time at Gilman.
Oh, that was.
Oh, except for Gilman,
Yeah,
yeah. We played at Gilman. We scared the shit out of everyone.
Went a little too hard.
They were.
Yeah,
a lot of Green Day
too
fans
heavy
over
for
there.
Yeah, because it was like what, like a pop.
It was like
Pop
pop.
punk.
It was like pop punk.
And y'all came out with metal. They're like, whoa.
Yeah, so we played our set and just left.
The entire time people were just staring
Just
like.
confused everyone. Yeah.
It's like, what's happening?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun, though.
that-
We had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're able to blend very well with different things.
Yeah, that's good.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
That's good for bands. You're playing with mixed genres. You could somehow toss it in there.
Yeah.
Like I went to Ace of Spades for Summerfest because Titans were playing there, and got to see a couple of the bands there. A lot of cool bands. There was this one band that threw me off because I was thinking, all right, this is a metal show, Summerfest. There's a lot of metal bands here. This band out here called Oh the Horror, and they got a dope ass stage presence. Like they got a half mask, skeleton mask, and white contacts, so it looks badass. But like their music was very mixed. Like they went from metal to rap to EDM back to metal. I'm like, whoa, you just went through 4 different genres in one song. Like, ooh, that should have been 4 different songs. They're like, fuck it. Let's just make a mix of every genre. Here you go.
Yeah. I think it's cool when you can do that well.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we try to do. Like when we were talking about with all of our different influences, a couple of them come from like different genres. So
Yeah.
like, it's a bit harder to hear, but we have like jazz influences, blues influences, and they're definitely implemented how we see fit.
Yeah, because you said you two started out with a jazz group or jazz band,
so
right?
we met each other in jazz. So I was playing guitar in the jazz, and then obviously he was playing drums.
Yeah.
That's how we met, yeah.
Kind of earlier. He would just come in like early, and he's like, hey, might
And
as
jam,
well,
yeah.
just might as well jam, and kind of just started just like that.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely like jazz influences.
Absolutely.
But like I said, it's a lot harder to hear than
Yeah.
say like the metal influences,
Yeah.
the rock influences. But they're kind of there.
They're kind of there. So let's see what you can do with that acoustic there, pal.
I can't do anything with acoustic, man. Let's see.
Let's do the ego
What do you-
acoustic set.
The acoustic set.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want? You're the guitar player. You do something.
Oh, you're put on the spot now.
I'm the singer, man. I'm the attempted singer.
I don't know
Under Ego.
what
Are you gonna play me a pretty song?
Pretty song.
Make it pretty.
Serenade Kevin.
No. I don't know. I've been playing this one.
I don't know who this is. Who is this, Kevin?
I don't know who it is. He just plays it during practice.
It's a little title fight.
Yeah.
Who's I don't really.
You don't know title fight?
I don't know a lot of
That
this.
sounded pretty.
Is it
Sounded very pretty.
Like 2013.
That's another thing about us is like him and I don't really know the newer stuff,
Yeah.
and they know all the newer shit. So they're talking about something, and it sounds like they're not speaking English.
So you guys are old guys in the band then?
Oh, he's the old guy.
I'm the old grandpa.
You're the oldest?
But I'm the oldest, yeah.
Who's the youngest of you guys?
Me.
How old are
I
you?
just turned 18.
Oh! Oh, I just turned 21. In January, I was so happy. I was like, no more X's on my hands! I get a wristband!
That's me this year. I'm turning 21 this year.
Nice.
Close to it.
Yeah, there's this guy I met through work, and because I worked with this company called V3, and it was door-to-door salesman. It was bull. And I went out with him to Shadow. I look at his hands. He got X's, and I see pics in his thing. I was like, you're a musician, huh? He was like, how'd you guess? I was like, 1, your center console's full of pics. 2, you got 2 X's on your hand.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, his band's called Peacock Picasso.
That's what I like that.
Yeah, he's from Placerville, is where they play at a lot.
Okay.
And when he heard that name, I was like, whoa, very unique.
Yeah.
I fucks with it though, cause I like weird.
Yeah.
So like those weird, cause the weird name bands are amazing.
Yeah.
Like they come out like you think one thing, and then you're like, whoa, what? Like I've seen people with like, you kind of underestimate them a little bit, and then you see what they can do, and you're like, wow, I did not think you were gonna do that at all.
Yeah.
Or like they just pull a sick house solo or a breakdown out of nowhere, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So yeah, is there anything else you guys want to let people know?
Nah.
I don't know.
Just listen to the one thing that we have out.
Buy our stuff. Buy everything. Give us all your money.
Yeah.
But when I get paid, I will get some of you guys' merch. I sticker ball in my room, so in my fridge, so I put stickers on. I'll have a bong that I put everything on. In a toolbox. I got a little wooden crate where I have all my tickets I've ever been to for local shows. I'll toss them on there, on my stereos, everything. Like there's a couple bands that got Haunted by Day. They're from Modesto, dope dudes. Impending Doom, that was a good show. I seen them at Holy Diver. That was a good show. Hell Heart's another good one out here. Titans, of course.
I played a show with Hellheart before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
they're
There's
dope.
There's like some big stuff that happens at Holy Diver. The Melvins played there.
Yeah.
Helmet played there
I remember that.
not too long ago, I don't think.
My buddies years ago. My buddies in Criminal Rock. First time I ever got to meet a celebrity was when they opened for Dio Disciples at Holy Diver, which is the remaining members of Dio after Ronnie died.
Yeah.
I was like, I made a joke with their dad because their dad's their drummer. Craig came up to him and touched him on the elbow. He's like, I want to see what you guys have. Walked away. I was like, hey Brian, you ever gonna wash that elbow? He was like, man, I'm so starstruck right now. So I do have a couple more questions for you guys.
Cool, for sure.
So what's some of the hardest things you guys have had to face being musicians? Like producing wise, trying to get venues, stuff like that. Like just the normal issues you guys would have as musicians.
I think the first issue was even getting a show.
Getting shows.
Yeah, because
at first it was
some places said we were too heavy. We were
Too heavy.
Yeah.
Did that a lot.
Y'all need to come out here more then.
That actually wasn't that something.
A few
what was
from
that?
here. I think we tried to
Was
play
it like Blue Note? Or
some cafe place out here
Yeah.
that I emailed. They were like, yeah, you guys are too heavy.
Yeah.
Mm.
we had a lot of that, and then just some places just wouldn't take, like, let's say a band that couldn't bring more than 50 people in. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so like after our first show at Gordon's, we didn't get another show, and we were supposed to have another show at Gordon's. Well, no, sorry, no. The second show was at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a
I
house
just-
show.
We did a
for
house
like
show.
fucking-
We couldn't get booked for any shows.
So,
we were like,
maybe coming up,
ourselves.
I'm gonna talk to my buddies in Titans, see if we can get you guys lined up. They're talking about doing another house show. They did one on Halloween, Titan Fest. They're thinking about doing another one this year.
we'll
They're
play
thinking
anywhere.
about either doing it on the 4th of July or Halloween. So once I know more about that, I'll let you guys know and I'll talk to them about
Yeah,
that.
we love house shows, man.
Absolutely.
We've done a few house shows. The one in Stockton that we
that
did.
was wild.
Their Titan Fest, they had over 200 people show up, in and out,
Cool.
back door. They had their back gate, they had their backyard, and then they played in the garage.
Cool.
So it was a big outturn. I was not expecting that many
I
people.
actually saw videos of that.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah, there was some of the bands that played were Titans, Haunted by Day, Taking Fox Hollow, of Avalon, the Measure, a lot of bands out here. And you know, it's crazy. Like I say, I'm more into local music now. It's crazy when I see
Yeah.
somebody I know. I'm like, aren't you with this band? And they're like, yeah. Last question. What are some of the things you guys have enjoyed about being musicians? Like the way the crowd has reacted, like shows you guys have played that you guys feel really good about, stuff like that.
Well, for me, it's never really been about the crowd's reaction. I kind of go up there because of my own experiences and what I want to do with my own life.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has actually been, I've had a few people come up to me and tell them like what our songs have meant to them.
Mm.
And that to me is what this is really about. Outside of us having fun,
Yeah.
which is my number one. I want us to like the music. I
Yeah.
want
They
us
feel
to
your guys'
it.
music on a personal
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, so I want us to feel it first. But it was cool to hear a few people say like, "Hey, like this song is helping me through a hard time," or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that. Really,
Like that always feels good
yeah,
to hear, you know, your music is influencing somebody.
yeah,
And it's like, wow.
Right.
To do that for somebody, like it's an amazing feeling.
yeah. It is.
So, all right, I think that's what I got for you guys.
Right on, man. Thank you.
So, this has been Under Ego. I should have the interview posted either Sunday or Monday, and I'll put the links and everything in the description so you guys can check them out. And yeah, so till next time, fuckers.